Sri Lanka is famous for its lion iconography. The symbol of the lion is associated with the Sri Lankan cricket team. It's on all our national brands. It's even on the Sri Lankan flag. But there is no evidence that lions ever lived in Sri Lanka. In fact, in my opinion, I think this obsession with lions hides a much more interesting history of wildcats in Sri Lanka. So let's talk about some of the amazing wildcats of Sri Lanka. Firstly, the awesome fishing cat. Now, this endangered species of wildcat lives in wetlands, and wetlands exist all over Sri Lanka. Colombo, the largest city in Sri Lanka, is in fact classified as a wetland city. So fishing cats are fascinating. They're among the few species of cats that specializes in hunting fish. It has webbed feet, which allows it to swim. They are powerful swimmers, and they hunt from riverbanks where they ambush fish from the surface. In fact, they have a hydrodynamic head, which allows them to cut through the surface of the water and more hydrodynamically swim through the water as they chase fish. The multi-layered fur on this wildcat also allows them to fish without necessarily becoming drenched in water. Now, all of these adaptations allow for the fishing cat to be masterfully skilled at fishing. But they live solitary lives and are actually really hard to find because they don't really come together at any time apart from when they mate. Fishing cats are found in various places in the country. And yes, because Colombo is a wetland city, they are actually found in and around the wetlands of Colombo. Yep, this endangered species of wildcat lives in Colombo, the country's biggest city. Then there is the rusty spotted cat. Rusty spotted cats are a fascinating wildcat because they are among the smallest wildcats in the world. And it's possibly the lightest wildcat in the world as well. Being really small and light, they are expert hunters and climbers. They hunt nocturnally, which means they hunt at night, and are highly adaptable. Now, they are absolutely cute looking cats, but they don't make good pets because they are wildcats and they belong out in the wild. Although they are wildcat, rusty spotted cats are extremely adaptable. They live in a variety of different environments and actually have been observed living closer to people than we think. There have been reports of rusty spotted cats living close to low density farmland and even on some plantations. This is probably because plantations and farmland often have a high density of rodents and small prey that rusty spotted cats hunt. The current population estimates suggest that these animals live around the northern parts of Sri Lanka, but have also been observed on the Horton Plains. Then there's the jungle cat. The jungle cat is an animal that's at home in the wetlands. Wetlands are actually very common in Sri Lanka. They can often be identified by their large ears, but in other ways they look very much like domestic cats. They're ambush hunters, which means that they often prepare for their hunts and surprise their prey. They wait for the opportunity to ambush. They mostly hunt at dusk and dawn. Now, this fascinating animal is found all over Sri Lanka. Although they're called jungle cats live all over the island. They're found in most national parks, as well as the central and north central provinces. They're even found in Yala. And the fact that these cats are highly adaptable is reflected in the fact that their population is spread out throughout many parts of the island. And finally, the amazing Sri Lankan leopard. There are many subspecies of leopards around the world, and the Sri Lankan leopard is one of them. The Sri Lankan leopard is known by lots of different names. In the oldest language on Sri Lanka, the language of the indigenous Vanyaletto, the leopard is known as the Pollejaletta. In Sinhala, it's known as the Divya. The leopards of Sri Lanka are unique in that they are apex predators in their environment, and in the absence of other competition, they've grown to be extremely large. The lack of competition also means that Sri Lankan leopards are easier to spot because they will tolerate humans to a certain degree. Sri Lankan leopards are big cats, which means that by some definitions, they aren't just large, but they have the ability to roar because of the structure of their vocal cords. The rosettes or the spots on each leopard are unique to each individual animal. And some more heavily pigmented leopards are called black panthers. Sri Lankan leopard populations are unique in the sense that there appears to be less human-leopard conflict in Sri Lanka than in places like India. There are very few examples of man-eating leopards in Sri Lanka. And some scientists and historians believe that this is because leopard populations have plenty of prey to hunt in their environment. By comparison, leopards in India are regularly known to become man-eaters depending on how close they are to human populations and the extent to which humans have intruded into their environment. Sri Lankan leopards are also unique in the sense that they are one of only 2 island populations of leopards. Most leopards are found on continents or large countries, but the Sri Lankan leopard and the Javan leopard are the only 2 leopards found on islands. And there are always unconfirmed reports of leopards on islands like Zanzibar, although the Zanzibar leopard is said to be extinct. Leopards in Sri Lanka are iconic and a must-see on any safari. And in my opinion, I feel like leopards represent a much more living and true icon of Sri Lankan wildlife than lions. As with most animals, humans threaten the environment of all the wildcats I've mentioned in this video. Hunting, accidental trapping, and habitat destruction affect all of the animals I've mentioned in this video. And it is up to all of us to preserve the environment in such a way that these animals can continue to exist in Sri Lanka for the future. Now, I'm fascinated by Sri Lankan wildlife and ecology, and I hope that this video brought attention to some lesser known wildcats of Sri Lanka and brought your attention to some of the more unique elements of the Sri Lankan ecosystem. So, did you know of these wildcats of Sri Lanka? Have you heard about them? Comment below and let us know your thoughts on these amazing animals of Sri Lanka. And if you like more content like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on Facebook on Mateo Project. Thank you very much for watching this video.